Showers and storms on Thursday. Good Wednesday night, East Tennessee. David Aldrich, Captain Accurate here from the Captain Accurate Weather Command Center. Well, we fell to 50 this morning, while most everybody else dropped into the 40s. It was still pretty balmy, given the fact the normal low is 31 degrees this time of year. Now, we saw temperatures rise again today to 70 in Knoxville, 70 in Morristown, Oak Ridge. The record high today goes back to 2008. It was 73. So we were 3 degrees shy of the record high today, but it was still another warm day. First team spring, 50, that put us 20 degrees above normal. 73 from 2008, we had a peak wind gust of 18 miles per hour. We're going to talk about winds for tonight and tomorrow in a moment, but it was 72 in Knoxville. But look at Chattanooga, 75? Are you kidding me? It's like spring, mid-70s for Atlanta, Birmingham, but it still feels like chilly weather with a high in Lexington today of 41. Now, temperatures as of this recording during the 8 o'clock hour, still in the mid-60s in many parts, some low 60s, but temperatures are going to stay artificially warm thanks to those warm winds that are coming up from the south and southwest. It's currently 70 in Chattanooga and 61 degrees in Nashville, so that's where we are at the moment. But what about those winds? Will they be increasing overnight? Absolutely. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if we find gusts 35, even 40 miles an hour in hilltops. If you focus on the red areas, that's where the strongest winds will be. This is what, 5 a.m. on Thursday, so in many cases you haven't even gotten out of the house and the winds are stirring a bit, and it will be gusty right through the drive into work tomorrow. There's 7:15, 7:30, still gusting around 34 miles an hour. But thankfully, the second half of Thursday, while it's still breezy, it won't be as strong. It looks like it'll be dropping off by the 4 or 5 o'clock drive to around 15, 20 plus. And again, these are potential gusts, doesn't mean it would be that strong throughout the period of time. Tracking the radar, we still see rain beginning to form. And this is just the beginning of what's going to form. In fact, some of the rain we're going to be tracking overnight hasn't even yet formed on the radar. But when you overlay the clouds and the radar together, you've got what is the recipe for an unsettled night tonight and into tomorrow for the drive in to work. By the way, the Ultimate Doppler radar, presented by your local Marco's Pizza, shows a few showers already in Scott County, Campbell County. We have flood concerns, aerial flood watches for Bell County, Harlan County. Looks like Knox County, Kentucky, McCreary and Whitley County until 1 o'clock on Thursday. So we'll be watching that as well very, very closely. Now, if we rewind the tape, so to speak, if we move back about, say, 8 hours, you can see some of those thunderstorms that have moved through the Commonwealth are now beginning to move into the plateau. So I think this is just the early set of what's going to be developing over time. So be prepared for what will be an unsettled overnight. If you're a light sleeper, this is probably not your cup of tea, as it were. By the way, Marcos.com, if you haven't had dinner yet, they give back, by the way, to East Tennessee's Children's Hospital. They've got locations, Marco's Pizza does, in Hardin Valley, Farragut, Maryville, and Fountain City. They're in Halls, Oak Ridge, Middlebrook Pike, and Ebenezer Road. They've got a magnificent pizza called the Magnifico for less than $10. You should check them out. And if you want something extra, may I recommend the Deluxe. I'm a big fan of the pepperoni and Italian sausage, mushrooms, green peppers, onions. Oh, it sounds so good. Our original sauce and the signature 3 cheeses come with the Deluxe. You can find all the details at marcos.com. Now, as far as the dense fog advisory, probably take that off there. But this shows you the rain that's been developing. They had some flood concerns in West Tennessee. I believe they had a flash flood warning briefly during the afternoon drive. But some of these polygons have changed colors, and this is just a lapse or a loop of the rain that's been happening over the last hour or so. Meanwhile, up to the northeast, there's an ice storm warning. Yes, that is not a misprint. They're still dealing with winter. They've got about 3/10 to maybe even a half inch of freezing rain and sleet expected. Areas around Altoona, Pennsylvania, western Maryland, and into Virginia and West Virginia. Not a good scene there. And some of these colors that you see in dark purple, they're expecting the higher concentration of the mix or ice to be found in those areas. So if you have family there, make sure they take it very seriously because it's still winter. In fact, it's snowing pretty good in parts of Minnesota and into the Dakotas at this very hour. If we expand the view just one step further, you'll see that there's more fog concerns down across Florida and Mobile, Alabama, just to name a few areas into southern Mississippi. They're still dealing with dense fog expectations right through tomorrow morning, and all the lightning strikes you can see at the top or bottom right of your screen. Now, as far as the radar and the rainfall, we haven't had anything measurable at the airport yet, but that will change. 4.81 inches is typical for February. That's what we usually see, and we'll be getting the drought monitor out tomorrow, so that'll be helpful in that regard. Meanwhile, the future rainfall, by the time we hit tomorrow afternoon, this is a 5 o'clock projection. Suggests a half inch in Wartburg, Oneida, Jamestown, about a quarter inch in Knoxville would be reasonable to expect between now and 5 o'clock on Thursday. If we keep the clock moving, you'll notice these virtual rain gauges keep adding numbers to them. So by 5 o'clock on Friday, Saturday, they all change a little bit. In fact, I expect more rain Saturday night, Sunday, before things start to settle down. But even still, the amounts may be a little higher if you're near the Tennessee-Kentucky border. I'm looking at Oneida, 1.2, Jamestown, 1.3, Middlesboro, 1.4, where you might find maybe a little bit less, maybe under an inch or half inch in some cases further south. By the time we hit, say, Sunday 11, we're going to be starting a new week, obviously, and we'll be changing the pattern back to more rain again. I'll be talking about that in a moment. Showers and storms tonight, warm and thunderstorms Thursday, hazy sunny clouds what we're expected on Friday. Most of Friday, outside of the pre-dawn hours, most of Friday will be dry, and then near record warmth, yes, near record warmth, like today, should reappear on Saturday, this upcoming Saturday, the 8th of February. So as far as temperatures right now, for those of you that think winter's gone, it just showed you the ice storm concerns. They're actually in the single digits at this hour in Caribou at 3, Billings at 4, 12 in Rapid City. You say, well, David, I don't live there. True. But what comes up comes back down, so to speak. I mean, there's some very cold air across Montana and the Dakotas that has me concerned that down the road, maybe the middle of the month, after Valentine's Day and before Washington's birthday, before the President's Day, you're going to find a change in the pattern. Wind chills at this hour are -10 in Caribou. That looks like winter to me. It looks like a -9 is the current wind chill in Rapid City, so it is very, very cold. And you can see the warm colors prevail now. You can see the clock with these 5,000-foot temperatures. You can see the clock and the timestamp. There's February the 7th. Once we move into Saturday, still very toasty. We talked about near record warmth. By midday on Saturday, you'll think spring has sprung. But give it another couple of days, and it could be 10 days from then, or maybe 7 or 8 days from there. Because once we go into about, say, Valentine's Day and beyond, let's get you to Valentine's Day. There's the 14th. It looks warm, but then all of a sudden it flips. When I say it flips, it goes all the way to super cold. Right? All of a sudden, it turns white and light blue. That's cold enough for snow, and it should be interesting. If we get some mixing, freezing rain, sleet combination, that's going to be on the menu. That could be on the table as we transition back toward the colder pattern. Storm Prediction Center is looking at some scattered severe storms tonight. That can't be right. That's the yellow area. It covers parts of Tennessee. And if you zoom in, it's right along the Tennessee-Kentucky border. Zoom in a little bit tighter, you can see it's probably just north of Jamestown, centered around Bowling Green. But if you're in northern Fentress County, and maybe all of Wayne County, Monticello, right into northern Scott, you have the potential for scattered severe storms between now and 7 a.m. That's why it's so important to have the Captain Accurate Weather app. Keep it on your iPad so you can be notified if and when you have a severe thunderstorm warning. In fact, Thursday, tomorrow, the chance for scattered severe storms isolated, the scattered disappears. The yellow disappears, but the isolated and dark green will remain for Oneida, Jamestown, and Cookeville, as well as Jellicoe, but Knoxville can anticipate just regular thunderstorms, general variety, but not severe, expected here on Thursday in Knoxville proper. But as far as the futurecast, this warm front lifts. We've got more unsettled weather like this tomorrow morning. It slides across town, and there's the front. It's going to be draped across, so it's really the next 24 to 36 hours. Rain will be the name of the game in terms of weather. And then this front wants to stall, so you've got more opportunities for rain, I think, Saturday, at least Saturday night into Sunday. There's another front that's coming like this. So it's one little wave after the other, which is why I wanted to kind of paint that picture for you in terms of the 7-day. But first tonight, 56 degrees, maybe a patch of fog here or there, but gray skies and winds will be picking up 5 to 10, but by sunrise, could be gusting closer to 35 plus. Tonight, we're down to 50 in Morristown, 57 in Crossville and Tellico Plains. Tomorrow, Thursday, 68. It's a very warm day. Despite the showers, despite the thunderstorms, and gusty winds about 35 plus, could be closing in on 40 on hilltops tomorrow. 71 for Tellico Plains, 66 in Kingston. I don't expect much in the way of sun tomorrow. It's a mainly gray day across the board. 72 for Newport and 66 for, Crossville. By the way, if you haven't picked up the Captain Accurate weather app with Pete Michaels Traffic, I hope you'll do so. It's free. Just search Captain Accurate at the App Store and Google Play. Let's get to the 7-day. I have not forgotten it. Here it is. 68 for a high temperature tomorrow. A little bit cooler, though, on Friday with hazy sun and clouds. 61. Then we're up to 74 on Saturday, woohoo, but that comes close to a 1937 record. It's been on the books for quite some time. Saturday night looks a little soggy, and then any spots of rain Sunday, once the sun comes up, should be in the foothill Smokies and exiting quickly. And then we've got more rain, a little bit, I'd say chilly again with a little bit on Monday, but you're looking at another round of heavy rain developing by Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday night. So it's all about the rainfall rate. When I say turning heavy, I'm not necessarily saying we're going to get widespread flooding, but I do think turning heavy, the rainfall rates will pick up, and that will lead to downpours and perhaps some big puddles. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. But I'll have more updates with the live stream tomorrow. Check us out at 6:40 in the morning, or you can always watch it on delay. Take care.